Wow, all this glorious information about the MCU. Oh, it's lovely. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Let's get into it. Let's talk about the tidbits and the marvelous news that Marvel has dropped on our eardrums as of lately. Fantastic Four. Alright, lately we've had John Krasinski himself go into Marvel and get into talks with Kevin Feige and his team about getting into a certain project that we all know what it is, and we have seen the concept art out there since Fox sold to Disney, that of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt being Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. Well, Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. You've seen this artwork, I've seen it, you've seen it. So he's gone into talks with Marvel about a certain project, and we all know it is the Fantastic Four. So, do you think it would be a good idea that John Krasinski is in the Fantastic Four as Reed Richards? Do you think that he's going in there as a director of this project? Me personally, I think he's going to be doing both of them. I think he's going to be going in there headlining as Reed Richards, and I think he's going to try and direct this movie as well. If you don't know who John Krasinski is, he's been around for many years. He's done the last Jack Ryan on Amazon, I think it is, or Prime or something like that. He's done the series of Jack Ryan. He started at The Office, and he probably had some more of that, but the one you probably know him from is A Quiet Place, which they've just come out with the second one, which I'm pretty sure he directed. But for a guy in the first movie of the first Quiet Place, if you haven't watched it, the guy says all of 2-3 words through the whole movie. Through the whole movie, he says all but 3 words, and one of them is him yelling. Now, he conveys his acting in his body language and his facials, and you can understand, which makes a good actor. So I think he would be a good choice to fulfill this role as Reed Richards, because as you know, the universe is missing that brilliant kind of eccentric kind of person. Reed Richards in the comics is the most intelligent person on the planet, or in the top 3 at least. So I think it's a good idea that John Krasinski is doing it, and I hope that he gets his wife Emily Blunt to jump on board as Invisible Woman, which only leaves 2 characters left: Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm. Now, let me know in the comments below, what do you think who could play these 2 awesome characters? Who could play Johnny Storm? Who could play Ben Grimm, the Thing? Let me know in the comments below. Me for one, I haven't got any preferences on who plays those other 2 characters. I'll leave it in the capable hands of Kevin Feige and Marvel, because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing when it comes to casting and what kind of actors and directors they want for their movies. So I'll be happy with whatever, but I will report if they do announce who's going to be Johnny Storm and the Thing. But like I said, let me know in the comments below and tell me who you think would be a good option for those 2 characters, because I think John Krasinski and his wife will be a fantastic pair for the first family as the husband and wife, Reed Richards and Sue Storm. So yeah, with that said, and if you guys haven't seen how, people have been thinking about how would they get into the MCU, how are they going to introduce these characters. Now, I used to think that maybe, in the Hank Pym days or something like that, Reed was around, they were around, and they got lost in space, or they got lost in the microverse or something like that, which only got backed up when you see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, if you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, and you know your history of the Fantastic Four and kind of Marvel in general, there's one certain scene, and you have to freeze it to see it, where they show the Micro City. Now, if you guys don't know what a Micro City is, which could lead into an introduction of the next big villain for the MCU. And you're asking who could that be? Well, in the microverse, there's the micro city that is in a dome, and you'll see it when Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne are trying to escape. You see a glimpse of it in like a dome, and it looks like a city. Now, like I said, if you know your history of that, you know that Nathaniel Richards, which is Reed Richards' descendant from 1,000 years in the future, is none other than the time traveler Kang the Conqueror. Now, Kang makes this city in the microverse, and this is the city that Kang had made and ruled over for many years. My thinkings, and a lot of other people's thinkings about the Fantastic Four, is that they've been trapped in there for this many years, hence why you haven't seen them. So I'm wondering if back like when Hank Pym first invented the Ant-Man suit and stuff like that, if he was collabing with Reed Richards and all of them, and they decided to try and go to the microverse and got stuck there. Or maybe they battled Kang and Kang stuck them there for this long, and you know, maybe in the multiverse of madness they'll get him out, or maybe in the next Ant-Man movie they'll go back to the microverse and they'll retrieve the Fantastic Four, and there you go, Fantastic Four introduced to the MCU. But let me know what you think about who's going to be playing Johnny Storm in the thing, and let me know your ideas on how you think they'll introduce the Fantastic Four to the MCU. But let's get to the next one. Yeah. Right, now we're going to get into this one. Doctor Strange 2. Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is one I'm quite excited about because I'm it's been rumored, and I think it's pretty much going to be the movie that interlocks in everything and introduce a few different characters from previous studios, if you know what I mean. So let's get into it. Doctor Strange 2, when it was first announced that it was going to be MCU's first horror movie. Now, I was quite fine with that. The original director, it was the way that he wanted to go with that. People were yelling out when they announced it, R-rated, do an R-rated one. Kevin Feige quickly shut that down, saying no, it's going to be PG-13, but you're going to love it. Now, I'll take Kevin Feige's word over anything in the movie world because he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's talking about. So, if he says it's going to be a PG-13, I'll take that. But yeah, Multiverse of Madness. Now, the original director unfortunately has dropped out of the race for being the director, and they have brought on board Sam Raimi. Now, I don't know about you guys out there, but I like Sam Raimi's work. I've watched it since Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and all that, and then with my favourite superhero, Spider-Man. To me, Spider-Man 2 is still one of the best superhero movies ever. You may disagree with that. That's what I think. I think Doc Octavius in that movie was superb. So we're saying it, Sam Raimi taking over Doctor Strange 2. Now, if you can picture, because they want to do a PG-13, so I'm thinking they're going to try and keep it the same, but they're going to add that if you guys haven't seen Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, he's got that kind of in those ones, there was his earlier days of the slapstick humor, or it's got that comedic tone to it, but it's got that horror as well. So I'm hoping he brings something like that and brings it to the fold. I'm pretty sure whatever Sam Raimi and Kevin Feige do on this project, it's going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be amazing. I have no doubt that it's going to be good. But my big thing that I'm hoping for, and I'm sure all you out there are hoping for as well, are we going to get a cameo from the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire? Now, I like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I loved him in all the Spider-Man movies. I wasn't a huge fan of Spider-Man 3. Now, the only reason I wasn't a huge fan of Spider-Man 3 is because I think they done Venom an injustice in that one. They totally botched it with that. But I liked the Sandman in it. Did like the Sandman. Liked the movie overall. But will we get Tobey Maguire? I hope we do, and if we do get a Tobey Maguire, then if they're going to do a multiverse scenario, are they going to get Andrew Garfield as well? You see what I mean? And it's been out there, so we're, you know, and it's something I think that we all want as superhero fans, is always to see our favorite heroes, and to see something like, you take when they first started the MCU and they started with Iron Man, Hulk, Thor and Captain America and all that stuff. We were all chomping at the bit for them to get together in the Avengers, and when we did, we lost it. I'm hoping that's what they do in Multiverse of Madness. I'm hoping that's how they're going to tie together, bringing Spider-Man over, bringing the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield. I don't mind if they have the Andrew Garfield in it. It kind of makes sense for if they're going to go with multiple dimensions. But here's my other thing: are they going to dip into the Venom? Are they going to dip into the likes of the X-Men from the Fox universe or something? I know that there have been rumors that they've been saying that they want to do something totally different with the X-Men, and they want to do their own thing, be apart from the Fox one. But this would kind of be understandable if they're trying to bring the X-Men over, because I don't know about you guys, but you know, having Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in there and saying that they were augmented humans and stuff like that, everyone still knew they were mutants, regardless of how they described them on Age of Ultron and stuff. That everyone knew they were still mutants. But the fact being, how will they introduce the X-Men into the existing MCU and make it pliable where you can understand or accept the fact that the X-Men have always been there? And I think this is a good platform in Multiverse where they can dip into, and they don't even really have to go to the Fox universe. They could go. Let's just say they do a real live action version of the 90s X-Men, and they go into that universe and pick out the X-Men from there and bring them over to the MCU universe. Wouldn't that be amazing? I bloody love that, because I love the 90s X-Men cartoon. Could you imagine? It just opens up a whole lot of possibilities, and it'll just be amazing. So I think that's Doctor Strange 2. I think is going to be the one that mingles all these things together to make it acceptable for not just us comic guys, just for your Joe Blow public people to accept the fact, oh yeah, okay, I can understand. Yep, they've gone into the multi-dimension. I've already seen that kind of thing in Ant-Man. I've seen it in Endgame, so I can kind of understand. Oh yep, they pulled the X-Men over from here, or they pulled the Fantastic Four over from here, and Spider-Man from over here. Kind of makes sense to me. Now they're saying that in Doctor Strange 2, could be Nightmare, could be the villain, which would be cool. That'll be awesome. But I wouldn't mind seeing what Mordo is doing, or where he's at, because at the end of the last one, we've seen him take the power off, I forgot his name, but took his legs, you know, the power for him to walk off him again, and said, I'm going to go around and pretty much straighten out all this magic stuff. And now I'm hoping that they don't just let him drift off into the distance and to be forgotten. I hope they tie that loose end up and bring him back into, because I think he is one of Doctor Strange's main villains. So it'd be weird not to have him come back in and finish off his kind of story arc there. So, but you know, maybe they'll have multiple villains, which would be good and bad, because I don't think it really worked in Spider-Man 3 with Sandman and Venom in there as well. I suppose it's comes down to a majority of things, writing and acting. And if it all goes together, if it's a good story with good acting, then hey, it's going to be good. But what do you guys think about the multiverse of madness? And do you think it would be a good idea if they instead of focusing on the Fox X-Men, went to a totally different universe, which was a live action version of the 90s X-Men cartoon? I think that would be outstanding. But you know, who knows these kind of things? And but this is one movie that I am really looking forward to now that I know that Sam Raimi's signed on board for it. I pray and I hope that we get to see a cameo from Tobey Maguire just swinging in, and Andrew Garfield swinging in with Tom Holland, and that'd be awesome. And then having Venom come in, and you know, having like an Endgame kind of confrontation between you know, what's going on, and that'd be awesome, because it just would be. Alright guys, well that's all I got for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you get the info on the next one. Alright guys, thank you very much. See you later. Peace out.